The sun had barely risen over Lagos when the Uber dropped off Amaka, Bisola, Kate, and Tari at the gates of Eden Grove Estate. The air smelled of bougainvillea and freshly cut grass. A tall security guard in a white uniform waved them through without questions. Their sponsors had handled everything, they were told. The estate was stunning, rows of identical white duplexes with glass balconies and gold-plated numbers. Their unit, number 9, was already stocked with designer clothes, imported groceries, and enough perfume to drown in luxury. Inside, the girls gushed with excitement. God has finally answered my prayers, Amaka screamed, spinning in circles in the living room with marble floors. Tari giggled as she flung herself onto a velvet couch. Imagine, just 3 weeks ago I was begging for N1 500 data money. Now look at me. Bisola pulled out her phone, taking selfies beside a chandelier. Kate, the quiet one, stood by the window, staring at the other houses. All the units looked lived in but eerily quiet. No music, no generators humming, no children playing. She felt a chill crawl up her back. Later that evening, they received messages from their sponsors, older men with foreign accents and names that sounded borrowed. Enjoy, my darling. I'll visit soon, read Amaka's message. The girls laughed and teased each other, already imagining soft life and champagne sundaes. But as the moon rose, something strange happened. The estate's massive gates locked automatically with a loud clank. The power briefly flickered, and for a second, a strange figure stood outside the kitchen window. Tall, still, wearing a smooth, black mask. Did you guys see that? Kate whispered. No one answered. Laughter faded. For the first time since they arrived, silence gripped the house like a curse. The following morning, the girls woke up to the smell of sizzling bacon and laughter. Whatever Kate thought she saw last night was dismissed as a trick of the shadows. Amaka scrolled through her phone while sipping orange juice. Mr. Kweku said he might fly in from Ghana next week, she announced, grinning. He wants to take me to Dubai for shopping. The others cheered. Tari's sponsor had promised her a brand new iPhone, and Bisola's was already asking for her ring size. Only Kate didn't say much. Her sponsor, Uncle Dave, had gone quiet. No messages, no calls. By noon, Amaka tried calling Mr. Kweku to confirm his arrival, but the number didn't go through. He was online last night, she said, frowning. Now his WhatsApp DP is gone. They all laughed it off. Maybe network, maybe battery, maybe he was busy. But that evening, a package arrived at their doorstep. A small white box wrapped in plain brown paper. There was no name. Inside was a single black envelope addressed to Amaka. No note, just a sleek black credit card with her name engraved in gold. Amaka was stunned. He must be testing my trust, she said, pocketing it proudly. That night, Tari woke up to a faint hum coming from the backyard. She peeked through the curtain and froze. There was someone, or something, standing near the mango tree. The figure was tall, dressed in all black, wearing the same smooth mask Kate had seen. But this time, there were 2 of them, watching the house. Not moving, just watching. She screamed, waking the others. They rushed outside with a torchlight, but there was nothing there. No footprints, no shadows, only the wind rustling the mango leaves. By morning, Amaka's phone was dead, and when they tried calling her sponsor again, the line had been disconnected. Forever. 3 days passed. Amaka's calls remained unanswered. Her usual voice notes and flirty texts from Mr. Kweku never came. The girls tried to hide their worry behind laughter and TikTok videos, but the tension in the house thickened like stale smoke. Amaka, once the loudest, now spent hours staring at the black credit card that hadn't worked in any store or ATM. Maybe he's testing me, she muttered again. But her smile didn't reach her eyes. One afternoon, Kate decided to step out of the estate to buy fresh pepper and onions from the nearby market. But when she reached the gate, it wouldn't open. She pressed the intercom. No response. A faceless voice eventually crackled through the speaker. All movements are restricted. Return to your residence. That was it. No explanation. No security guards in sight. Just silence and the buzz of the estate lights above her head. She returned to the house in a daze. Later that evening, Tari saw them again. Not two this time, for masked figures standing at each corner of the estate. Still, unmoving. They were dressed alike, head to toe in black, with silver embroidery that shimmered faintly. No eyes, no mouth. Just masks. Kate ran to record them, but by the time she unlocked her phone, they had disappeared. At 1 a.m., the doorbell rang. They all froze. No one moved. The bell rang again. 3 sharp chimes. Kate mustered courage, grabbed a kitchen knife, and peeked through the peephole. There was no one there, only a plain black envelope on the floor. Inside was a note, written in red ink, "You belong to us now." Bisola dropped the note like it burned. Amaka backed away from the door, her voice trembling. "I don't want to be here anymore." But Eden Grove no longer needed permission. The next morning, a black SUV pulled up silently in front of House 9. No driver exited. No horn. Just a quiet presence that seemed to suck the life out of the air. Bisola ran outside, hoping it was her sponsor, Chief Ajayi. "That must be him. He drives something like this," she said, adjusting her wig and smoothing her dress. But the windows were tinted pitch black. When she got close, the rear door swung open by itself. Inside, there was no one. Just a velvet box lying on the seat. Curiosity and greed warred in Bisola's eyes. She took the box and ran back inside, heart pounding. The girls circled around her as she opened it slowly. Inside was a gold bracelet, heavy, intricate, and shining like fire under sunlight. "See now," Bisola screamed, laughing. "This man wants to marry me." But Kate wasn't smiling. "Why send a bracelet and not even show face?" she asked. Tari backed her. "I don't like this. It feels wrong." That night, Bisola couldn't sleep. She kept scratching her wrist where the bracelet now sat locked. By morning, red welts had formed around it. "Maybe it's just an allergy," she whispered, though her eyes were bloodshot from crying. She tried to remove it, but it wouldn't budge. The metal had fused with her skin like it was part of her. Panic set in. They used soap, oil, knives. Nothing worked. Suddenly, the lights in the house cut off. The generator didn't kick in. Through the darkness, they saw the masked watchers again, closer now. One stood directly in front of the window, hand raised toward Bisola. The bracelet began to glow. Bisola screamed and collapsed to the floor, seizing violently. The light from the bracelet faded, and when they turned her over, her eyes were wide open, but empty. Her phone buzzed beside her. A message from Chief Ajayi. Service terminated. Bisola's lifeless body lay in the center of the living room, eyes frozen in terror, bracelet still glowing faintly on her wrist. Tari covered her mouth, shaking. "We need to leave now," she whispered. Amaka nodded, trembling beside her. Kate, always the calmest, grabbed a bedsheet and covered the body. No one cried. No one could. Their fear had grown teeth. They packed bags, phones, passports, anything they could carry. But the estate wouldn't let them go. The gates remained sealed. Their phones lost all signal. Even the TV only played static. That night, Kate rummaged through the drawers, desperate for answers, and found something wedged between the pages of a fake Bible. A list. For names, typed in all caps. 1. Amaka Okonkwo. 2. Bisola Oyebanji, claimed. 3. Tari Omakaro. 4. Kate Ogbonna. Their mouths went dry. Bisola's name was already marked claimed. "We're being hunted," Tari said, barely above a whisper. Like goats in a pen. Then came the banging. 3 knocks on the back door. Slow, rhythmic, measured. They huddled together. Kate clutched the list as if it could protect them. When the knocking stopped, they peeked outside. No one was there. But something had been left, a small clay bowl filled with water and a dead butterfly floating inside. A new envelope lay beside it. 3 remain. Prepare the next. Tari broke down. I swear, I didn't come here to die. I only wanted a better life, she sobbed. Kate pulled her close. We're not dying here. Not like this. But deep down, she knew. This wasn't a home. It was a sacrifice in slow motion. And their turn was coming. The atmosphere in the house turned poisonous. The girls avoided mirrors, avoided shadows. They didn't speak unless necessary. Amaka hadn't eaten in 2 days. Tari paced the corridor like a ghost, her eyes sunken, mumbling prayers in a rowboat under her breath. Kate watched her closely. Something in Tari was breaking, or had already broken. That evening, they found a black envelope on Amaka's bed. No one heard the door open. No one saw who left it. Inside, a photo. Blurry, grayscale. Tari standing on the estate's balcony, reaching out except in the photo. Her face had no eyes. I don't remember taking this, Tari whispered, trembling. Amaka reached for her, but Tari jerked away. I know what's happening, she said. We were offered luxury, but we're paying in blood. They don't want all of us. Just our bodies, our minds, our lives. That night, Tari vanished. The front door was wide open. Her bag was gone, her shoes by the door. But her phone lay on the floor with one message on the screen, a deal for freedom. One must go. I chose me. They searched the estate. No sign of her. Until they saw her, standing outside House 13. Alone. Smiling. Wearing a black mask. No, Amaka gasped. Tari turned her head slowly, the mask fixed tightly to her face, eyes hidden behind silver slits. She didn't speak, didn't blink. She simply raised her hand and pointed directly at Amaka. She had made a deal, and now the Watchers had a new sister. Amaka refused to sleep that night. She sat in the corner of the room, clutching a kitchen knife, eyes locked on the door. Kate paced back and forth, murmuring to herself, we need to fight this, or escape, one way or another. But Amaka barely heard her. Her heart was fixed on the image of Tari, her friend, now turned into one of them. A masked prisoner pretending to be free. At dawn, the loudspeakers around the estate crackled to life for the first time. A deep, distorted voice echoed through the compound. 2 remain. One will be chosen tonight. The other will watch. The ground seemed to shift beneath their feet. I won't wait to be chosen, Amaka snapped. I want answers. Fueled by rage, she stormed into Bisola's room and began tearing through the drawers. In the bottom of the wardrobe, behind a stack of old designer bags, she found something, a leather folder. Inside, dozens of documents, estate contracts, NDAs, bank transfers, and photos. Photos of past girls. Faces they'd never seen. Every one of them smiling. Everyone marked claimed. And then Amaka saw it, her own photo. Not 1, but 3. One of her entering the estate. One of her sleeping. One of her standing in the bathroom, brushing her teeth. The date on the last photo? Tomorrow. No one took this, Amaka whispered, voice cracking. It hasn't even happened yet. Before Kate could respond, the lights flickered. The air turned cold. A black envelope slid under the door. Amaka opened it with shaking hands. Tonight, the gate opens. One walks out. One stays forever. They stared at each other, heartbeats thundering. Would they choose each other? Or save themselves? Night fell like a curse. The estate was unnaturally silent. Not even the wind dared pass through Eden Grove. Amaka and Kate sat in the living room, both dressed in plain clothes, bags packed by the door. The silence between them was thick, but not with hatred, something heavier. Unknowing, they were the last. Then, as promised, the gate creaked open. A single path lit up, glowing faintly in the dark. At the end, freedom, or so it seemed. Amaka looked at Kate. Let's go. Together. But Kate didn't move. She held something behind her back. No, she whispered, tears falling. I found another letter. In the envelope. You didn't see it. She pulled it out, crumpled, blood-stained. Only one survives. If both walk the path, both perish. Amaka stepped back. So what? We fight now. No, Kate said gently. But we must decide. Outside, the masked watchers had gathered. All four corners. And in front of them stood Tari, mask still fixed, but a single tear sliding down her cheek. Proof she wasn't entirely lost. I'll stay, Kate said. I don't have anyone left outside. You do. Your mother. Your younger sister in school. They need you. Amaka shook her head, trembling. You can't decide for me. Kate suddenly rushed forward and pushed Amaka out the door. Run. The watchers moved, but paused. Amaka sprinted down the glowing path, heartbreaking with each step. Behind her, the gate began to close. She turned back once, just in time to see Kate raising her hands to the watchers, surrendering. Then darkness swallowed the estate. Amaka collapsed just outside the gate, sobbing. The estate was gone. No road behind her. No trace. But in her hand was a black envelope. You are free. For now.